Phoenix build that's actually pretty good. So you could see stuff like that as well, but in the same vein, he could pick something that completely falls flat and loses them the game. Like sometimes Kunkka didn't work out well.
Okay, so we're seeing a lot of Disruptor first 2 picks now. Really has risen through the ranks.
It's very similar to the previous series where newbie, they played Digital Chaos and they opened their draft with Lion. It's something similar to that. You just open with a lane support.
I agree, it's good to first pick Disruptor generally, but if there's a lifestealer, I feel it's a direct counter to Disruptor.
I would actually personally prefer more something like a Wiz opening, but they don't actually play it that much.
I was going to ask where the Beastmaster was, but that makes more sense. Yeah. It's the first 2 picks with
this is much better, right? Like than the Tide where they play on cooldowns. Beastmaster's cooldown is much shorter. So
I'm surprised Fnatic didn't pick Beast themselves because Ohio's Beastmaster is really, really good. Yeah. And as I said, Lifestealer directly counters Disruptor in the early and mid game at least.
What if they?
And not to mention when they open with the Beastmaster, it would actually make LGD think twice about picking the Lifestealer.
Right, so because it's a direct counter to Lifestealer too.
Well, an early start.
That's an early start, yeah. Well, it counters both heroes directly. And
now you see why they picked Disruptor, because Disruptor is extremely good versus Slug. So you can see the reasoning now with their second pick.
Yeah, so they've already thought ahead in the draft. They thought, right, if we pick Disruptor, they're definitely going to pick up the Beastmaster. They knew that, right?
And they wanted to protect the Slug as well, so they don't have to use a ban on Disruptor after.
Because LGD's been picking Disruptor a lot and having a lot of success with it. It also gives them a stun in the safe lane. They could Disruptor Slug combo and always kill Beastmaster.
But very strong.
Overall, with these 4 picks, I still think the Lifestealer and Beastmaster draft opening offers more for LGD compared to the Disruptor Slug. Maybe Fnatic have something up their sleeves, you know, with the Slug Disruptor opening, but we'll have to see.
I mean, we spoke about it in general. Lifestealer is pretty good against Slark because you will couple him with another hero that can initiate on the Slark and you can actually just burst him down. And they don't really have like a defensive option against it yet.
Apparently, not correcting me, Scandal did have 1 game on Shadowfinger in the tournament against OG, so 2 of them have played SF, so it's still pretty, it's an exclusive club.
So that's the Riki ban when an enemy team has Lifestealer. We've seen Lifestealer Riki very strong, very successful. They have a lot of map control from the Hawk, so it's going to make it easy for Riki to find pickoffs.
What heroes does maybe play in conjunction with Lifestealer?
He plays with Lifestealer.
Does he play Quap? Does he play Puck? What is like the preferred choice?
He's mostly the Quap person.
I wouldn't mind Quap at all. Beast, Quap and Lifestealer is really strong combo together, a really strong core combo together.
But they've tended to favour the Puck.
Puck over Quap? Yeah, like either way, it's going to be very strong.
If they go for Puck, it's going to be a single core Lifestealer. So maybe this game they might not do that.
What about like, he plays a lot of Ember Spirit sometimes. I mean, Disruptor is sort of a counter in a lot of cases, but if he plays it smart.
Also, we can still think about Beast actually going to the jungle. They can pick another offlaner that offers initiation as well. Like a
going greedy against Fnatic? I mean,
it's risky, but you know.
I mean, Fnatic seems to think that might be a possibility with the last ban. They ban out the Tide.
Tide would make a lot of sense. You can stun Slark when his ulti's up. Give your team a little space that could offset what Disruptor starts.
His laning phase is very difficult against Slark Disruptor though. He won't get too much. And then if you have a Beastmaster jungle, I don't know. I don't feel like it would have been a really good idea for them.
I'm thinking about what offlane they could possibly get if it's not Beast that actually offers initiation as well. Like Bad Rider is not good against either of those 2 heroes. And the other choices are kind of banned out.
Are you talking about counters against Lifestealer or Beastmaster?
No.
Or the other way? Okay.
I mean, why they... What offlaner LGD might pick, because Bad Rider is really bad. And I think, and Disruptor as well. And I think they need some form of initiation to couple up with the Lifestealer.
I mean, line's quite good. Once he gets Blink, obviously, you just wait for the Dark Pack, you set up the Slark kills.
We haven't seen a huge amount of Doom at this tournament, especially in the main event yet.
Fnatic loves their Doom a lot.
They do, they do.
They play it on Ohio and on their position 4 a lot, so on 3-4-3. So
and this is really strong against
Lifestealer. Very aggressive. Yeah, it's very aggressive. It counteracts the Lifestealer. It suits their playstyle.
And with Disruptor on top of that, there won't be the case where he just gets doomed and runs out of the battle. You can always glimpse him back into it.
Is that like...
That is a...
Is that off? It's not offlane, right?
It could be.
Beastmaster offlane, Enigma jungle.
It could be the other way around too.
Because it's dangerous, like against a roaming Doom.
No, I agree, but you deny the range creep, you actually can deny a lot of experience, and you can farm the jungle camp close to your ancients. If that's what you're going for. but it's very greedy, and you have to be careful against Fnatic.
So you're talking about the Enigma plus Beastmaster on offlane like a lich. The Enigma's like a lich.
Right.
He denies a creep, he goes to the camp, and he rinse repeat. He keeps doing that to slow down the Slug's farm in the game.
Yeah. And then the Enigma can always go to the jungle camp and farm.
I mean, this is the risk, like being very greedy. Like the Brood pick here might pay off.
Or you get Brood Mother. They have like nothing against Brood at all.
But they have given them a last pick.
They have pretty good catch against the Brood with the Beastmaster, but it's the early game that's going to be a huge problem right now. They don't have a good lane against Brood.
They can't switch up the lanes anymore. Lifestealer has to go safe lane or off lane. They have to pick a mid laner now. Unless they want to pick... Did they play Beastmaster middle at all? No, right? Nobody really does that anymore.
You probably still can. You could swap a support there later as he ganks, I guess. But maybe it's too transparent.
It's not ideal for them. They don't want to put their Beastmaster
putting Lifestealer off lane is also not very good. It's like
they're basically trapped at this corner with the Brood Mother pick. That was a really good.
The Brood pick is really, really nice.
So the most important thing is getting Brood like level 3, and then he's fine. Does LGD just focus heavily on zoning him? A lot of sentry wards, observer wards, try to keep him from getting experience.
They do have an Enigma though, and it's really hard to do something with Enigma.
They need to have a good hero that can do a 1v1 matchup with Brood in the lane itself without help. Because there's no way they can help that lane, I think.
Yeah, but you can't put Nyx middle, it's like...
Nyx, like what you guys said, Nyx offlane, Beastmaster mid.
But he's the DPS source as well. Like, if you don't have Nyx farmed, you don't have damage to kill their heroes.
Yeah, like they have a lot of problems right now.
They're trapped right now.
It's really convenient they banned out Tide as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So they weren't necessarily committed to this super greedy thing LGD was doing then.
Yeah.
Just happened to be one of the heroes they pick a lot.
Sand King.
I mean, Sand King would be good. It would solve the Lifestealer problem that he doesn't have initiation.
It's good against Slurk.
I can tell you love your Sand King.
Oh, I love Sand King.
He does love Sand King. I got an hour of chat in my ear over dinner about Sand King. So there's the puck. So yeah. Interesting lineup.
We kind of expected the puck to be on the LGD side, but now Fnatic's pace of the game is extremely quick pace because the Doom will be roaming, Brood Mother is going to be pressuring a lane, Puck can roam and he's level 6, so there's a lot of ways that they can break apart the early game. So LGD has to pick a hero that can actually lane the Brood alone.
And on top of that, Fnatic's lineup is really strong early, mid and late game. Like they have a
good scaling.
All around good lineup. Yeah.
We currently have 88 heroes used at the Manila Major. One short of the record, which is at TI5 last year. So
I'm still waiting for the CK.
Is this number 89? We still haven't seen a CK. We talked about that.
Timbersaw. Have you seen that?
We have seen a Timbersaw.
We've already seen.
Still
I was thinking like Timber might actually be one of the few possible solutions remaining.
Timber is good, but I still think it's going to be very hard to shut the Brood down.
It's very good versus the Brood, but he's very weak versus Disruptor, Doom, and Puck. There's three silence basically ruins the Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, all three of you. We'll get more thoughts from our panel members at the end of the first game. Time now to go over to our commentary team for our second series of the day. Here's Mort and Gods.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our last upper bracket match of the day. It is LGD Gaming versus Fnatic. We are here with this best of 3 series, game number 1. My name is Mort. With me is Gods. Gods, we have a Broodmother pick on the main event right now.
Yeah, first one of the main event, and a great game to do it. You see your opponents go greedy, they get the Beastmaster and the Enigma. Someone's going to the jungle. Let's take advantage of those weak lanes on the side of LGD.
There are some interesting picks as well coming out from LGD's side. You have the Timbersaw last pick, which I think is really interesting, but we'll have to wait and see how it pans out for both of these squads as we're going to jump right into the game.
LGD Gaming
lanes being won currently by Fnatic. None of them being like dominated by any means. They haven't got any kills yet. They haven't managed to really pull ahead, but Mushi mid almost doubling up the CS. A Lifestealer, Ohio slightly ahead on CS against the Enigma, and then the top lane going very well in terms of mid one getting farm on Slack. So across the board, each lane slightly Fnatic favored, but that's kind of adding up. The Beastmaster jungle, the one thing that can look to turn that around. He is about to hit that level 6. He's halfway to level 5, sorry, halfway through his level 5 stage. And with that early roar, LGD will likely be looking to secure themselves their first kill and kind of equalize one of these 3 lanes.
And the good news is, too, is that Xiaowei actually has a decent amount of farm. A lot of that due to the fact that he's using his Midnight Pulse, he's farming up the Broodling, so he's getting a bit more farm than you'd see in an off-lane Enigma in this state of the game. So
he's just trying to keep this tower alive. This bottom tier 1, you talked about being at 3/4 HP. Now it's going to get nice and low. Xiaowei thinks about this knife, but he can't get close.
No, he can't walk up there.
4.5 minutes in, Ohio has taken a free tower, and there's nothing LGD can do about this. I'm a bit surprised they haven't rotated the Timber towards bottom, giving him the matchup against Brood they wanted initially, but I think LGD just decide musical lane is ultimately going to be a lost cause for them if they just keep on rotating. Fnatic can respond by TPing themselves, so they kind of just accept their fate that they're going to lose this tier 1 early on.
Yeah, and maybe I think it's suffering in CS due to the fact that he's not down there against that matchup. Obviously, you would have the Broodlings that we talked about for Xiaowei. He's getting chased down, and there's that TP that you were talking about. He just can't sit in that lane. Even if he wants to defend the tower, he still might end up dying, and he has to actually just back up, TP out, and Ohio will continue to pressure that bottom tier 2 already at 5.5 minutes into the game.
This is brutal. Xiaowei does have Black Hole, so if Ohio ever gets too aggressive, look out for that Black Hole under the tower with a TP rotation, but something Xiaowei didn't have was mana, so that TP back at least fills up his mana pool. He can look for that counter plays now, but Ohio's going to be wary of this. He sees the level 6 Enigma. He knows there's a Black Hole, and if there's a Black Hole with a TP in from someone like Timbersaw, he will die.
Top lane.
3-4-3, getting low here.
Yeah, it looks like this might be your first blood with the Earth Spike coming through. He just stayed a bit too long in that top lane, and Sep actually gets the first blood. 3-4-3, unfortunately in a bad position in that instance, going down at 6 minutes. It's a bit long time for our first blood, but still, LGD will get something out of it at the very least.
Yeah, nice kill for the fact that it is a first blood, but it's still a bit of a concern that LGD's lanes are going as poorly as they are. TP bottom coming from Timbersaw, so now they're going to, with a level 6.5 Timbersaw, give him the matchup against Brood to try and slow down the push coming in, and also opens up Enigma to head to the jungle since Beastmaster's going to be roaming around more.
Well, unfortunately for the Timbersaw, Ohio just TP's up to the top lane. He's like, I got webs, I can push down this tier 1 tower, we can start being a bit aggressive. They even said min 1 down bottom as well with his TP, so musical lane's more coming out from Fnatic instead of LGD at this point.
Mid 1 does have the lane very pushed up, but it looks like with a full camp he may be able to pull this back. Although, no, he's not going to actually have that available to him. So with the lane pushed up as far as it is a bit difficult for him to farm this bottom lane, but he can always jungle as well. You get level 6, you can heal up using your Shadow Dance from the jungle, so he's got plenty of options available to him, even with a pushed out lane.
It's a very slow-paced early game at this point. And finally, Sep has level 7, so maybe they're looking for something top. Obviously, Ohio, knowing that there is that jungle Beastmaster, it's very dangerous for him to stay too far up in that lane, even though he wants to put pressure on that tower. Xiaowei also has Black Hole, so I think for LGD, they want to get something going here, but Fnatic are kind of playing keep away pretty damn well at this point.
Yeah, and Fnatic with a gold advantage mostly off of that tower, but even on top of that, it's a 1,500 total gold lead, but LGD getting a bit more in the way of experience. You've had much more value out coming out from their jungle with the Beastmaster and Enigma. So for now, very farm-intensive early game. Aggressive, even just happy to throw an Infest just to heal himself up and farm a siege creep here in mid, so very much signaling what he has in mind.
They rotate maybe back to the top lane after he pushed out bottom. They'll give mid 1 a free lane now. There's nobody contesting him down bottom at this point. So he'll get farm. Ohio's still kind of scouting around, using his Broodlings just to be able to cut part of the creep wave and make sure that maybe he doesn't have the easiest time here in his top lane. So a lot of interesting plays from Fnatic. Still no aggression from LGD though.
Coming soon, Seth and Xiaowei both with a smoke on hand. They do it under a ward, right on the edge of that one.
They might have just scouted it out. No pings just yet from Fnatic, no lines drawn. Ohio's going to back away. DJ will be first contact. They've got Roar. They get it off in time. The Midnight Pulse will come through. There's the Chakram. Do they have the damage? They blow him up with the Timber Chain and maybe gets the kill. The second of the game for LGD, and finally they can get a little bit of breathing room in this top lane.
Yeah, that will ease things up a bit. But for Fnatic, this is the stage of the game where they want mid 1 to be free farming. They did well on the lane stage off of the Brood. Now they're at the stage where it's like, okay, there's no real lane where Brood's going to be able to continue pushing. We're at the point where LGD are going to start defending the Brood's push using the Timbersaw, looking to kill him using smokes and dusts. And Brood has to play a lot more conservatively. So for Fnatic, free farm your Slack, priority number 1. Priority number 2 is probably look to start making your first plays around Mushi's Puck, because he's level 8, he's got Dream Call, he's maxed out Waning Rift. This is a very kind of gank-heavy, aggressive build from a Puck. If you want to farm, you normally get the Illusionary Orb, so him and DJ looking to find a pick-off here.
Sep is going to back up at the right time. They don't see Mushi come in. They didn't see that smoke either, but now they're going to come through. It's an Invis rune. They're going to Dream Coil up. Sep's going to get Silence as well as Illusionary Orb, Inferno Blade. They should be able to bring him down. They even get the stomp off from DJ. They finally get the kill on the board. There's a couple of heroes rotating in. Shout as well as aggressive. He's going to phase up, looking for open wounds. The Doom comes down under maybe Timberchain coming in as well. Earth Spike, Mushi getting low. Black Hole is up. They're going to do some damage, but can they bring him down? He's very elusive. Mushi about to get out in time. Illusionary Orb jaunts away. He'll make it, but he gets onto the high ground. He has to TP out. Can he make it away? He cancels it. No, unfortunately, Earth Spike comes out and he will get caught. Malphus came through, stopping the TP at the last second, and he was about to make it away, but he just couldn't make it out in time. His only choice was to TP on the high ground there.
Yeah, he TP'd with Malphus still on him. If he'd waited one more tick, it would have been close. The Impale was going to come regardless, so it looked like he would have gone down without getting the TP off either way, but had to use that jaunt just a split second too soon. He couldn't quite get to the low ground, and LGD get the better of that trade. Having committed Black Hole to kill Mushi at this stage, not too big of a concern, and they're going to get a follow-up kill on Doom up top, maybe. Getting very farmed here, 3-0-1, 61 CS. It's definitely the high point of this LGD early game, which has been not exactly the best in terms of the laning stage, but the kills they've gotten off of their level 6s from Raw, from Enigma, Black Hole have definitely been on point.
While you were talking about this earlier, though, you do have mid 1 completely free farming. He's up to 1,600 gold right now. He's got Treads, a Kilo, a Poor Man's Shield, so he's starting to get to that point as a Slark, which is very scary for LGD's lineup to deal with. So mid 1 is getting a plenty amount of farm. Ohio as well is doing very well, second in net worth right now, and he just has phase in 1,500 gold. What do you think for itemization for Ohio?
We've seen... I haven't seen him play Brood in such a long time. The Orchid is not exactly amazing this game. We saw Bulldog going much more towards a fighting build. Oh, Ohio
is going to get roared up. There's the Timberchain coming out. Earth Spike, easy kill. LGD rotate in 2 heroes. They get that roar. The Earth Spike, plenty of lockdown, and he falls.
I kind of like the more fighting-oriented Brood play that we're seeing kind of out of Bulldog from Alliance, and I think scaling forward, like you've got this tempo control on the puck, you want to be able to fight as a Brood.
The Echo Saber was the item Bulldog purchased up in the beginning of that game.
Echo Saber, BKB less important in this game because there's these big ultis like Raw and Black Hole to go through, but perhaps even a Midas. Like you've died once now, you're struggling to farm in the lane a bit, you may just want to jungle and play the economy game. If you look at Fnatic, they've got 3 cores that can scale pretty well, a 4th in the Doom who's also getting some farm. Both teams effectively with 4 cores.
And they need to find that farm. If you're trying to split it up between those 4 heroes, Midas is certainly going to help in that regard. Mushi is smoked up. They're looking finally again for another initiation. They have 4 heroes down bottom, and Xiaowei might be the target. Mid 1 is going to push this in a little bit. Mushi's sitting behind with DJ, of course. Aggressive might walk up and actually find all of them, unfortunately.
Yeah, they saw him rotate towards that bottom rune, so they were hoping that he would kind of run up towards them in the high ground, but it looks like he just wanted the rune and then he was back mid.
Fnatic thinking that there might be a counter gank set up from LGD as they scanned over toward that Uber cliff towards that tier 2 tower. So if they want to get aggressive, I feel like they can. They've done this where they've dove the tier 2 tower before, especially in the group stage. They did that all the time. But they won't go for it this time. They're going to back up. They say, okay, Ohio's getting room top lane. We don't need to go for anything too crazy. Back up together.
LGD have just done a great job playing against Disruptors so far. Normally you'd see like a glimpse pick off here or there. You had Fnatic even setting up bottom lane with a lane ward to try and set up a glimpse, but LGD have not really shown them anything. Just the 1 kill this entire game, and that was very much in a trade scenario.
So there's a lot of farming going on, and Fnatic have obviously mid 1 in Ohio doing very well. Does this benefit them the most? I mean, just this farming situation, or are LGD kind of happy with how this game is going currently?
I think both teams are relatively happy. Fnatic obviously have gone for a few smoke plays, neither of which have been successful, so things could be looking better for them. But in terms of the big picture, they're getting what they need out of the lanes. They took the tier 1 tower at both top and bottom lane, so it's ever so slightly better for Fnatic right now, but it's all going to come down to this mid-game execution. You've got big ultimates like Black Hole. You've got the Puck and the Doom giving the teamfight for Fnatic. So teamfight execution and the plays from mid 1 Slark are going to be kind of what decide Fnatic mid-game here. For LGD, it's all about the initiation of Enigma and Beastmaster.
Mid one was looking for something mid, but Sep's going to back up. They have a sentry there, by the way, so they know. And if he walks a little bit closer, they will have detection, but I think they just know already. Fnatic are going to back up. They're going to go into the jungle. They'll find aggressive. Doom comes out. No, not there. He cancels the animation. They'll go with a couple of right clicks, and now Fnatic, they might be in too deep. The open wound slow is going to go up to DJ. Grabs up the Wolf, and they'll back out together with the rest of Fnatic. And so...
very, like you say, very... It feels like it's a very slow defensive laning stage, but you look at what Fnatic have done. They've gone for 2 smoke plays with Mushi. They've now gone for a Shadow Blade reveal. Well, they've tried to reveal the Shadow Blade by getting a kill. None of these have just been successful. LGD have completely read every movement out of Fnatic. But despite this, it's not like LGD are winning. If anything, it's still Fnatic controlling the game. They've got a 1,000 net worth advantage, mostly off of the Tower Gold. And it's Fnatic who are the ones trying to find the kills, trying to slow down the LGD.
Oh, they get the Dream Coil, but the Rage comes out in time. The Static Storm won't work, and the Kinetic Field will not catch either. And Aggressive gets out just in time with that Rage. The Dream Coil to start it off, but it wasn't long enough for the stun for him to actually be caught out. Now maybe looking for more. Going to clear out the creep wave. Ohio's going to get pushed back. The Broodling's getting pushed out as well. And again, Fnatic, they fail on another Smoke of Deceit, gank gods.
343 was just a split second too late with the Static Storm. He had to get that off as fast as possible. Basically, as the Dream Coil goes out, he needs to be using the Static Storm to get the silence, preventing the Rage. And fortunately for Fnatic not getting the kill, but still, you go back to the current farm. The net worth of these heroes, mid one is top of the net worth chart. Timbersaur's up there with him, but this is not exactly... I mean, it's a hero that scales well, but he's not a carry by any means. And you talk about a Timbersaur being tanky. Slark doesn't mind tanky heroes. That's more essence diff charges for him to proc, assuming he can stay alive. He will have to go into a BKB at some point because Timbersaur has so much good damage to go through the Slark Shadow Dance. So the way this matchup works is it's actually pretty good for Timbersaur, but if Slark is BKB, he can fight and get a ton of passive procs.
I mean, even if Timber decides to go BKB later, there's still that Doom, obviously, so he's going to be essentially useless if he gets doomed up, which he's already been doomed once in these engagements. It hasn't really worked for Fnatic.
And he's got to be the main Doom target, I imagine.
Yes. I think so. If they find Aggressive first, maybe they go on him, or even the Enigma. Obviously, those two heroes are very strong as well, but now mid one first contact, maybe Sep going to walk up. He actually breaks the smoke when they don't have vision of the high ground. He'll pounce away. He's got Shadow Blade in 2, and now this time, it's LGD that have a smoke that don't work out for them.
We're seeing so many smokes just... It's not that they're failing. The teams are using them at decent times and going in good directions to find heroes, but both teams just reading their opponents. Map awareness has been really on point this game, and it's Fnatic who, for the most part, are being the aggressors here. They have lost their mid-tier 1 tower, so it looks like LGD ready to make some moves of their own. The Guardian Greaves completed on Enigma means this push of LGD starting to get fairly formidable with the Sep Necrobook as well on Beastmaster.
And it looks like Fnatic will try to counteract that by going for a push of their own, or at least a little pressure. But the unfortunate thing is that there's the Ancient Black Dragon here, and it just clears out the creep wave entirely. So instead they'll head up into the top jungle and look for a target there.
Yeah, this is actually a cheeky little play that Aggressive's making by going in this. It's just such a safe way to defend towers without exposing yourself to real ganks. And
maybe Kinetic Field, they see him. Kinetic Field's not on point, but they do have glimpse back if they need it. So they're waiting for the TP. Static Storm will come out. He's just going to deny himself. Dream Coil was even committed for that. And so LGD are just saying, that's great, we could just push bottom now. We still have Black Hole. We still have plenty of damage. We have Roar up as well, but here comes mid one looking for Xiao 8. He's going to go in, but he gets Malphite, and they get off the Black Hole as well. The Finger, they blow him up instantly. Dead for 45. He was not expecting that play from Xiao 8 and LGD, but they will glimpse him back. Kinetic Field, Doom is up. That'll be on the 7. They still have Roar available, but now we won't be able to use it. Here comes Aggressive Rage. Open wounds, 343, getting chased at 2 down. Earth Spike, DJ gets the mech off the hill fall. 2 dead for Fnatic, and now they have to back up together. Sep still has that Roar. He's looking for a target, but instead they'll just take the tier 2 on top of that, and maybe gets a solo kill top lane on Ohio, and he's dead for 40.
Suddenly, LGD just go guns blazing, running at Fnatic. The Timbersaw with the deny initially just means that Fnatic overcommit to go for that kill, and LG is like, sweet, this is a free push bottom, and mid one had maybe about a second to realize that his Shadow Dance, he was spotted. Like, he knows there's a sentry there. The Shadow Dance wears off. He should have recognized that, okay, they have vision of him, and immediately backed off. Because that Black Hole commitment to kill a Slark, well worth it. Yeah. LGD are just like, look, any kill we can get at this stage, we can use this Black Hole in 10-15 minutes time. So let's just go for this kill, and they set themselves up to get a tower, Roshan, and then the solo kill on Brood is just like the icing on the cake, so... All right.
And you can see how the net worth graph dips down as well. At one point, 1,000 up for Fnatic, and now down to almost 4. It will be 4,000 once Roche falls. So they get a tier 2 tower, they get 3 kills, and Roche, and an Aegis for the lifestealer for aggressive. And he's going for the Radiance build on top of this.
I saw the gloves, like, it had 2.2k gold, and I'm like, is he actually going like Radiance? But yeah, he's going Radiance.
This is, I think, there's a lot of debate about this build, I'm pretty sure.
It's great when you are pushing and kind of deathballing, and that's exactly what LGD is ready to do now. They've been the ones on the back foot for the first 15 minutes of this game as Fnatic look to make their aggressive plays, but now we're at the stage of the game where LGD have the teamfight items. They've got the Guardian Greaves on Enigma. They're going to have points in the Necrobook for the Beastmaster. It's Necrobook 2 already. And Lifestealer with a Radiance plus the Black Dragon or a Granite Golem's like not quite as good, but it's still okay. You can just push every tower on the map. You've got great sieging capabilities, so very difficult for Fnatic to fight into it. They haven't got any heroes really capable of taking out those Ancients. If Brood tries to go in with physical damage, which is not really there, more likely than not he's getting roared and just burst down.
We've even seen teams commit Bane's Fiend's Grip just to be able to kill the Ancient, whatever, Black Dragon, the Granite Golem, just because it's so hard to take down. And now you're going to have to chew through that with really no way of doing so if you're Fnatic. There's just not a lot of damage coming out. And you can see he already has the Granite Golem. He's just running out of mid at this point. Mid one has to back up. And this is going to be a bit annoying for Fnatic. And LGD, they're looking to put the pressure on now. They're the ones that are going to be the aggressors here in the next couple of minutes, Gods.
Yeah, for Fnatic, if you ideally can find a pick-off away from where the push is coming, that's great. But LGD, they're full 5-man here. Other than the Lifestealer who's just going to try deep push mid a bit. And this T1 mid for LGD has been untouched this entire game. That's something that Fnatic have just been unable to pressure.
Surprisingly.
actually stuck. Okay, he was stuck on top of a cliff up top. Have to use another way.
Fnatic are going to move together. They need this smoke to work, I feel like. Again, they're going to be fighting into an Aegis if aggressive stays nearby.
Lifestealer's not here. This is not exactly ideal for LGD.
They need to back together as a team. Sepp and, of course, MMY getting out in time, but they actually might not be there. Static Storm, they get off the Wind Rift as well. Sepp, he's got that roar once the silence wears off, but he's going to get it on to DJ, but it's only one kill. Xiaohui pops the Black Hole into through for the Dream Coil, cancels it by Mushi. They get the mech off. There's the Doom onto Maybe. Can they bring MMY down? Absolutely. Xiaohui in trouble as well. Getting blown up by Ohio and mid with the Shadow Dances there. They've lost 3. They might even lose 4. Aggressive is here. He's going to right up, going for 3-4-3. It's a 2-for-3 exchange. Waning Rift comes out. They have the Necrobooks. They're both pretty low, though, with the Archer as well as the Warrior. And the mid one actually takes it out, but takes a lot of damage in the process. Aggressive. He's not going to go any further, but maybe will. And looking for mid one, he gets off the Chakram as well as the Timber Chain coming through, but it's not enough damage. And still a great fight for Fnatic.
Yep. They overcommit a bit on the Beastmaster, stacking the Silence and wasting the Static Storm, but they still got the kills they need.
Waiting Rift onto 2, maybe almost getting blown up. The Orchid might bring him down, not enough damage. Mid one, they get the kill. It is Ohio getting the job done with the Spawn Spiderlings. Aggressive will rage and TP out. They don't have the damage, but still another great engagement for Fnatic as they bring down the top net worth hero from LGD.
Great reinitiation from Fnatic, going for the hero that didn't have the Aegis, recognizing that they can kill him without Aggressive being able to do a whole lot. With this Radiance build, he's not exactly great at chasing or finding kills in these fights. It's great for like the AoE damage and just being disruptive when he's in an Ancient creep, but LGD didn't have him there at the start of the fight. It was definitely a misplay to try and pressure that top tier 1 tower as they were doing so with the Lifestealer at mid. He eventually arrived at the fight, but by that point, LGD have already been initiated on, and without Beastmaster able to get off any spells, the Enigma, if that Black Hole goes off, could have been LGD's fight, right. But it just wasn't quite the Black Hole that he needed to get.
It was so close to hitting Mushi, but it gets the Dream Coil off to counter-initiate, and that's what turned the fight around for Fnatic. On top of that, they kited the Lifestealer pretty well when he did get there. They're like, okay, he has an Aegis, he has a Radiance, we don't really need to fight into him, we can just kill everyone else. And they killed all 4 heroes with the exception of the Lifestealer. The Glimpse comes in, it's unfortunately not timed correctly, and Sepp will be able to get out just fine, but here comes mid one. He wrapped around that tier 1 tower, was looking for Sepp, but he was a little close to the tier 2 at that time. So it looks like we might have a trade here. Glyph comes out top lane, tier 1 tower will fall there, but there is going to be a TP in. Static Storm comes out aggressive, but he gets through the kinetic field as well. The Dream Coil, the Rage is up now, the Open Wounds DJ. No Scorch Earth, he gets the mech off in time, but he will fall. The last word coming out, and they blow up mid one with the Finger of Death from MMY.
Yeah, just mis-execution there from 3-4-3 on the Disruptor. Unlikely to be a good fight for Fnatic either way because there is an Aegis on the Lifesteal, but you kill him once with Aegis, you can just try and disengage and completely back off. That's not a fight Fnatic want to be taking into a Lifesteal with Aegis when he's the one that initiates the fight. He's the one taking those big important spells like Static Storm, and suddenly LGD are actually on the high ground, and Fnatic may be forced to buy back on mid one.
Dead for 33, it's too long. They've already They're going to have to pop their glyph right now, and with 28 seconds still on the sideline, it looks like he might have to buy back. Ohio will try to split push top lane, but it's nowhere near that tier 2 tower. Mushi's going to jump in, he's going to use his phase shift, needs to blink out, or just gets caught and gets destroyed. And actually is done. He's dead for 48. They'll back up for now, but that tier 3 tower is insanely low. Ohio finally comes into the fray. They don't have to buy back on mid one, but that's still not great for Fnatic.
Great mistake there. Didn't use the Veil before the Orb as well, so didn't really maximize his damage output. Orbs in with just level 3. If he has level 4 phase shift, you can guarantee that blink out, but big mistake there. Perhaps just forgetting that it was just a level 3 phase shift that he'd got. They do defend high ground without having to commit a buyback, but Mushi not really needing to throw away his life as he did there.
So despite having an excellent laning stage for Fnatic, they can't find the fights, except for that one engagement top. Nothing is really going their way. They're losing engagements to maybe just getting a lot of damage done. Aggressive, he's been a thorn in their side this entire game, and he continues to be, as he's now in the Ancient Black Dragon, and he's just going to farm up and pop out when he needs to. They also get the Yule Scepter up as well on the Timbersaw too, so he's starting to get really farmed.
Importantly for LGD, something their lineup has been kind of lacking is like a solid long-range initiator. They didn't have anything until now with the blink on MMY. The Beastmaster going straight into the Necro 3. I feel like often you'd see a Beastmaster here get like a Necro 1 and then get the blink because LGD's lineup lacks that bit of catch. But now with the blink on MMY and a soon-to-be blink on Sep, this game is going to get a lot easier for LG to find those pickoffs to start the fights off. And if they can be the ones getting the jump on Fnatic, that may mean that Doom doesn't come out or a Static Storm doesn't come out. And that just helps protect heroes like Lifestealer and Timbersaw to guarantee their damage out.
Mushi, phase shifting, he's going to have to blink into the tree line. There is a Lifestealer nearby, but he has no TP for 25 seconds to lose Orb. He's going to have to jaunt to the high tree line over here. He's going to get very deep into the forest, but they really want to chase this. They're going to just use the Chakram. They don't see the phase shift. He's just behind the trees. Still no TP for 14. And actually, I think maybe might have spotted him. He's going to jaunt into the tree line even further. They won't go, though.
It is a puck after all, but
Pounce? TP? Maybe he's found it, but he steals. I mean, he does get it off in time. Maybe waiting for the last second. The Chakra has to use his Shadow Blade, but there's the Whirling Death. Maybe gets the kill. Aggressive, meanwhile, finds a pickup on 3-4-3 on the Disruptor in that top lane. 2 quick kills coming out for LGD.
That's a bit of the mid one we saw during the group stage, making these kind of misplays, getting caught out alone. Bottom lane, meanwhile, DJ and maybe kind of having a bit of a brawl here with the Doom onto the Timbersaw, but
the Ensnare coming out. He needs a couple more right clicks, including the Infernal Blade. Can he get the job done? The Doom should tick down.
Infernal Blade, maybe?
He can't get there in time. The Scorchscur's not up. The Chakram coming through back, and maybe will survive. Not only that, as he uses cancel the TP, he's going to get it off in time. Will he go for this kill? He's pretty low in HP. They might find it. DJ's forced to mech up. DJ wants one Infernal Blade, but he can't get it there. The Timber Chain will get the job done for Maybe, playing it perfectly, using the Yules at the right time and staying alive. Wow.
Maybe it's just styling on people. The solo kills on the Hyo's Brood, plays like that onto the Doom. His individual play has just been on point this game, and Fnatic, for the most part, have been kind of left in the dust here as we go into the late game. They're not really, they've most farmed here as a Brood who isn't going to match up well at all against the lineup of LGD. You've got Raw Black Hole, you've got Timbersaw damage, Lifestealer to fight into him with a Radiance, and really don't feel like Ohio's going to be able to offer much to his team in these late game scenarios.
This is where the push comes down for LGD. The Veil will come out for Mushi, just trying to blow up as much as possible. He does get with the Jaunt and the waiting room and blinks back just to try to blow up the creep waves faster, but so difficult for Fnatic. They're not split pushing with Ohio. He's going to send his Broodlings to the mid lane to try to creep cut, but that's all that he can do right now. He's going to send it for the tier 1 tower, most importantly, just to get some extra gold and try to just stay this creep wave at that tower for the time being. Already the damage on the racks is almost complete. The melee rack's about to fall here. It looks like they will get the job done without a fight. LGD, they get one set of racks and they just back up.
From the south, though.
Mid one was looking for an initiation, but he was too late with the Silver Edge. Can't find any catch on any of these heroes.
Yeah, and this is with the Disruptor. The Glimpse play just isn't there. They're not finding those pickoffs, and this is a big reason why this Lifestealer core is so good this game. You see that first pick Disruptor and something like, well, Lifestealer, like direct counter. Like, you're never going to get a Glimpse catch on someone like a Lifestealer. There's a BKB on Zhao 8, so he's got a way out of it. This is a really tough game. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Timbersaw, if you time the Timber Chain right, you actually get out of the Glimpse as well. So this is a lineup where getting pickoffs using the Disruptor just hasn't happened. 3-4-3 has been involved in 2 of the 5 kills, and more than anything, LGD have just avoided all of the aggressive smoke plays out of Fnatic this game.
We've seen Disruptor own at this tournament so far, and it's just not the same type of game we've seen from other Disruptors at the main event even, and 343 is just having a bit of unfortunate luck. They can't find any targets. It really comes back to that beginning of the game where Fnatic were looking for so much and they just couldn't find anything with any of the smokes. Now MMY is invised up with the Rune. They have with him aggressive, but actually just Fnatic are setting up top. They're trying to push in at least one wave and force LGD back, and it is going to be maybe. Mid one is sitting at this tier 2 tower. A couple of heroes are behind him. Mushi's on the high ground, ready to go. They also have the Disruptor there if need be, and they will get the tier 2 tower at the very least.
No vision for LGD in the area. They could have TP'd back more, but they're taking Roshan and they have no vision. Well, I say taking Roshan, it might be, yeah, they're going to have to bring the Beastmaster and use his Necrobook. And unless Fnatic head directly towards it, which is kind of hard to do with a lane pushing in mid, they're not getting here in time.
They have a good team fight if they can hit that Static Storm, but the unfortunate thing is LGD are going to take this too fast.
And mid one's just so poor right now. He's only got the Silver Edge. He's got 4k gold, so he's less like economy poor and more just hasn't spent his money. Very likely we see the BKB pick up once he has enough money for it, but right now he's just not in good fighting shape.
So much counter initiation from LGD. You have the Blink Dagger up on Xiaoyan as well, so you have so much counter initiation, Black Hole, Roar, Earth Spike from MMY. They have everything they need to end this game to find at least one pick and turn that into another set of racks here. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to maybe pressure bottom at first and maybe defend top, and then they'll go from there.
Yeah, mid one would love to force some of those rotations back, but Timbersaul's already headed up there and he's got boots of travel. So if you're LGD, you're thinking, well, maybe he's capable of defending this lane by himself, assuming he doesn't overcommit. He can just sit back throughout the chakrams, and then he can TP bottom, potentially with a fresh Aghanim Scepter. He's only 200 gold short of this, so he could be TPing in with a big upgrade to his damage output.
Yeah, and he's going to just blink in mid one. It's like, I don't want to take that fight. Let me just back up. He's going to push out the creep wave. He can TP bottom at any point in time. Again, the Broodlings are being sent bottom so they can cut the creep wave, but I don't know if that's going to be able to do enough. They're actually just getting set up here. And it's going to aggro at least the range creep in a melee. But Aggressive doesn't really care. He's just going to work on this tower. He's tanky enough. He'll have to use the rage, sure, but that's not a big issue. They have to force the glyph, but the tier 3 is pretty much almost dead at this point. Glimpse back. It's going to come through at best. Now Sepp is actually not going to get caught. The glimpse back wasn't far enough. Meanwhile, they get the roar up into Ohio. He's been scouted out. They had a sentry. Finger down. Dead for 65. No buyback. They even TP him with maybe he blinks back, and they will have Aggressive on the front line. Just go to work on this tier 3 tower.
Yeah, this is looking bad for Fnatic. No brood for this fight.
They have to do something here. They have to go for an engagement. They can't just give up just yet.
There's too many like good Doom targets. Like, you can't doom everyone.
He might not even be able to doom anybody. He's going to go down without a doom. They get the Static Storm up. It does nothing. The Black Hole onto mid one solo. Fnatic will lose 3. None of them have buybacks. They're going to find a 4th, and that is it. GG comes out. LGD will take game number 1. Pretty damn good fashion, gods.
Yeah, they look composed from start to finish. They were so dependent on Fnatic.